going on, family? I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. It's because of you that we're able to reach the masses. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, share, and comment. This is going to be one conversation that's going to bless your life and change your whole perspective of how it gets done as it pertains to church. This is the preachers of the 757. Pastor John Moore of the Experience Church. It's one place that can't be explained. It only can be experienced. This is the preachers of the 757. So much for taking out the time to have a conversation and to be on the preachers of 757. Tell us something about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, man, for fun, man, I like to play basketball.
Really?
So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I get together with a group of guys early in the morning.
Okay.
And we just play ball.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Experience Church. How did it birth? How did it grow? How did it get to the place that you are now?
Right. So our church started 4 years ago.
Okay.
We started in Suffolk, Virginia, out on 460.
Okay.
Man, the crazy way it was birthed. My first church, I pastored a church, a Baptist church.
Yeah.
And I learned from that experience.
Okay.
And it's an experience that really can't be explained.
Gotcha.
You know, I went through a lot of struggles there, and out of that birth, Experience Church.
Gotcha.
I had no idea that I would launch a church.
Gotcha.
But God had bigger plans.
Absolutely.
And I've always been creative and innovative. And where I was at didn't allow me to do that.
Right.
God allowed us to birth our church, but we birthed out in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
On 460 in Suffolk. I'm
Wow.
like, God, you sure this is it?
Absolutely.
And you know, even in that small building, I was creative, and I loved atmospheres.
Right.
And so, you know, people used to joke on us because in the building, it was like 4 other churches.
Okay.
So guys would call us a church mall.
Wow.
Not knowing that God was preparing us for where we are now.
Absolutely.
And so it has definitely been a journey, but a journey that I have learned, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
I love it, man. So what would you share with some young pastor that would say the place that they are, they're being limited? They believe that God has birthed something great on the inside of them, but they're scared to launch out there and do it. Whether it's start a church, whether it's be in development and grow your church from a physical stature. What would you share with you?
I would just give them encouragement to pay attention to details.
Yes.
Get around people who are doing what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
I've always been a person who exposed myself to other things, to other churches, to other businesses, and just really being the learner.
Absolutely.
Never stop being a learner.
I love it.
And so I will always go places and pick up some ideas and see what other people are doing and bring it back for my context.
I love that.
To fit my context. I will also share, get a mentor. Get somebody who is where you want to be.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that mentor is not always your kind.
That's true. Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to expose yourself to other people, to other reformations, to other churches, to other businesses. And, you know, I talked about one of the sermons I preached on is developing the right relationships. That everybody needs a Naomi in their life. You may be Ruth. Everybody's trying to get the Boaz, but you need Naomi,
significance in Naomi.
to get you the Boaz.
Absolutely.
So you need to find that Naomi in your life.
I love that. So now there's a lot of people that go to different churches and pick up little nicks and naps, some different things that different churches do. And the damaging part, most people don't understand what works for the Experience Church may not work for my church.
Absolutely.
Or what works for New Beach Grove may not work for my church.
Absolutely.
What would you share with somebody? They see something great going on at the church. They see the Jumbotron. They see all the, you know, the new technology, but their church is not ready for that yet. What would you share with them?
Take your time.
Yes.
Take your time and watch this. Go to conferences, but don't go by yourself.
Yes.
Because oftentimes people, they'll go to a conference and they'll get excited. And you're fired up. But the thing is, you went by yourself.
Absolutely.
You didn't take your team. I believe.
So what's the importance of a team? Because a lot of people do ministry by themselves. This is what I want to do. This is the vision that God has given me. What's the importance of a team?
I think a team is critical.
Yes.
So in our context, every week I meet with our team. And we debrief on Sunday what was good, what was bad, what could have been improved.
Yes.
And so you got to have people on your team who has a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't think the way you think. You got to have people who are creative in their field. You got to have that administrative side. You got to have that person who is creative. All of those geniuses have to come together and meet so that you can be effective at what you do. Oftentimes people see people who are doing well, but the reality is they got a team that's helping them to do it. I can't do this by myself. I've got a team that helps us to put things in place, and you got to debrief. And have that team that you can trust, but everybody on that team has to come with something different. You can't just be on that team just to be there, but everybody has to bring something different to the table that makes it effective.
So now, you said something that most people don't talk about. Because we see people at their glory stage. We see them at the place where the money is coming in already. We see them at a place where they're driving what they want to drive, live what they want to live, just do what they want to do. But they don't see the backdrop of their testimony. What would you share with somebody? Don't look at my glory now. Have a conversation with me. Let's have some coffee. Let's talk so that you can see the steps that I had to take to get to the place where what would you share with them?
Man, I can only share with you my story. People look at me and say, oh man, look the church and everything, but follow me down when I pastored the church, when they changed the locks on the door, when we're standing outside.
How did that affect you?
It really affected me because when I went through that whole experience of, deacons changing the locks, people standing outside, didn't want me to know anything. Psychologically, I just wanted to quit the church. As a preacher, as a pastor, I just wanted to give up on church and I just wanted to do something totally different because I couldn't understand how can people who say they love the Lord put us through this. And so, man, that's the back end. People see lights and cameras and screens now, but you don't know the times I wanted to get up. You don't know the times I went and sat on the couch and talked to a psychologist to help me to get myself together. I prayed, but I went to go get professional help as well so that I can continue to go. And so, man, everybody wants the glory, but like somebody said, they don't know your story. And it's still a journey.
It is.
It is still. I've not arrived or nothing like that. I'm still learning, still growing, still learning.
So how? We're talking about how did it get done? How did you get yourself from the place of being broken, of being felt like as if you guys turned your back on me, to the place now where I'm still thriving in ministry? Souls are still getting saved. People are still coming to the altar saying, what must I do to be saved? Under your leadership, under your pastoralship. How did you get yourself to the place and pick yourself back up to say, I got to keep on going?
I had a wife that encourages me. Tells me keep going. Keeps it real with me.
Absolutely. And that's the difficult part. Because a lot of people think that your helpmate is the one that's going to just pat you on the back and say you're doing a good job. No, they got to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's how you produce.
Absolutely. So having that backing with my wife has been a great push for me to keep going and talking to myself. You can do this. Now you're at a place where you're not stagnant and stuck, where you're bound, where you gotta vote for this and vote for that. Now I'm at a place where I'm creative because naturally I'm a creative person. I'm a trendsetter. I like to do stuff that's different. That's just who I am. And so all of that started to come as I launched the church. All of those started to come into place.
So when did the slogan come? Because when I first heard it, I promise you I had to steal it for a quick second. It can never be explained. It can only be experienced. How did you get that slogan?
I've got to give the credit to a good friend and brother of mine. We were sitting in a restaurant. And I told him this is going to be the name of the church, Experience Church. And Dr. King walked in. He said, hey, Doc, check this out. It can't be explained. It only can be experienced.
I love it.
And so he came up with that slogan, and we, just rolled with it.
I love it. So what's new? What's coming up new for you? What's going on? Any new things that you're going to do, development that you have in place for the Experience Church?
Some of the things that that we strive to do is really be active in the community.
I love it.
And so we have adopted an elementary school, Southwestern Elementary.
Oh wow!
And every week we go out there. We help out in PTA. We help out just in different areas. Because oftentimes you see churches at the beginning of the year. The first day of school, they're there.
Absolutely.
And then they're not
throughout
there
the school
anymore.
You're gone.
And so we have continued to be active with that school, and we have develop relationship with the faculty and staff and students and parents.
I love it.
There at Southwestern.
So what is your process? You know, because a lot of people, we talk about we're doing this in the community, and then you have a church that wants to do it but have no guidance. So what is the process, the steps that you guys do as the Experienced Church to make an impact into the children's lives? What do you guys do?
All right, so one of the things we did was we set up a meeting with the principal.
Love it.
Laid out to him, you know, what we wanted to do. We try to find out what the need was.
I love it. I love it.
Once we found out the need, we slowly but surely started to meet the need. And just being visible.
Yes.
When I was in seminary, one of my professors, he always talked about just the power of presence.
Absolutely.
Just being there.
Being there.
And so it made a tremendous impact on us just being there. Whatever the need is, you know, in our means, we're there to just meet the need. So, you know, they have the book fair. So I asked some of the partners of our church that maybe were retired or who have been off work, can y'all come and help out on the book fair? And so that made a tremendous impact for just being visible.
So one of the number one questions is how, as a body of believers, as a church, can we be effective? What would you share with the person that said, listen, I'm just trying to find my lane. I'm just trying to navigate through the kingdom and do what God has assigned us to do? What would you share with them? How do you stay? How does the Experienced Church stay in their lane?
You have to know your DNA.
Yes.
You have to know what you're called to.
Absolutely.
The very thing that you're passionate about becomes your purpose.
Yes.
Just like our interview today, this is your passion. This is what you love to do. Everybody can't do it because it's not their passion. And as you continue to do it, you'll continue to grow in it. It'll continue to evolve. But I think you got to know your niche. Everybody has a niche.
Absolutely.
You know, there's some people who are called to doing foreign ministry. That's not my call. Some people are called to evangelism or everybody has their niche. So you gotta find out, God, what is my niche? What is the very thing that makes me different? What is the very thing that makes me stand out? And once you find it, you cultivate it, you work on it, you continue to evolve yourself around people who have the same passion, the same niche.
So now, what's the danger? I gotta play a little advocate here. What's the danger in when people veer off in lanes that's not theirs? I know the cliche: if you veer off in another lane that's not yours, you get in an accident. So what is the danger as far as kingdom work? And when I say kingdom work, I'm talking about the people that are directly affected. People that don't know nothing about church. People that are not church, that comes to our church. What is the danger when we operate outside of who God has ordained us to be?
People will see through it. People see the authentic you.
Absolutely.
And when it's not authentically you, not only does it affect you, but it affects people around you. And people can tell.
Absolutely.
You know, people can really tell. And so the danger with you know, trying to do it like you saw somebody else do it, it may have worked for them, but it won't work for you.
Absolutely.
And it will be more work for you trying to do it, and it would never fit.
Because you're trying to keep up. And it's not authentically you.
Absolutely.
I love it. So how do you keep yourself in a place? Because listen, it's crazy because we can see something. And we'll see something so fantastic of somebody doing ministry, like Pastor Jamal Bryant's doing something phenomenal. I was telling my best friend, he went to Atlanta and turned Atlanta upside down, coming from Baltimore, feeding a whole population of homeless people on Super Bowl Sunday. But how can you get yourself to a place of seeing greatness, trying to mimic greatness, but also stay in your lane at the same time?
So I think with me, like everyone knows, Dr. Brian is one of my mentors. And so with him, he always challenges me. Always sending me a book to read of something of that nature. And so, you know, he may do something on a bigger scale. But I would do something on my level. And be comfortable with doing it on my level. And where I can't do it, I join in.
I saw a post that you posted not too long ago. I believe it was this week. How two banks merged together because we were hurting. So why is it in the body of Christ we can't merge together because of our egos? Let's chat about that.
Because SunTrust and BB&T have merged together. They have dropped the name. And as a result, they're going up the roof. But in the body of Christ, we can't do it. It's all about competition. Absolutely. It's all about who got the biggest church, who got the biggest name. At the end of the day, I want the kingdom of God to win. And I've shared the concept of merging and stuff like that, because I ain't got to be the man. You know, I don't have to be the lead guy. I just want us to win. And, you know, it takes you tearing down your pride.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
so why as African American preachers or just clergy, why is it difficult for us to play the second fiddle? Why do I have to be the number one man in front?
Because only in the church are you validated. You can't go in corporate America because you're no one in corporate America, but only in the black church. You deacon so and so, you bishop or apostle so and so, but you're not doing nothing in corporate world. So you come into the church
trying to take over.
But you don't know who you are. Absolutely. If you knew who you were, titles don't matter.
As long as the work gets done.
At the end of the day, as long, and the sad reality, man, we've seen people passing 15, 20 years, they struggle. When there's a church down the street that they came together. You know how much impact that would be?
Absolutely.
I've got a friend of mine, he's in South Carolina. He said, we did it, a white church and a black church. They came together. And it's talk around the town. The church has doubled instantly. And because a black church and a white church have never came together before, especially in South Carolina. And so, man, it's possible, but people are afraid because they've never seen it done. And anything that you haven't seen done, it scares you. But this year, our theme is setting the trend.
I love
setting the trend. So you got to do something that's never been done before. And not be afraid. You know. And so, man, I'm all about, you know, mergers and just doing kingdom work.
Absolutely.
I don't have to be the guy in the front.
Absolutely.
I really don't.
Absolutely. As long as the work is done, we move forward. So let me ask you this last question, because this is the number one thing I believe in the preacher realm, as pastors and as preachers, having a helpmate when you have a wife. Because there's some preachers and pastors that have wives, that are good wives outside of church. But in ministry, they're far in the back seat somewhere, or they're nowhere in ministry or active. How does it help you having your wife active, helping you each and every week?
Man, it's amazing. It is literally amazing. My wife helps, you know, in the backdrop where people don't see. Because if people don't show up, we got to get it done.
Absolutely.
And so she's helping out in that. She's in the microphone, being visible. But you got to know your assignment. Everybody's not meant to be in the mic.
Absolutely.
You know, so
some people got to play the background.
Right. So, but having that wife that supports you and working together is critical. Now, please understand, we don't do everything right. You know, we ain't got this marriage where, oh, it's wonderful and perfect. You know, we have our flaws just like anybody else, but we come together and work together, and we pray together. And we help one another. So I think that's critical.
So let me ask you this question, and we're gone. A lot of people, pastors, have wives. How do you get to the place, not in competition, we're not in competition, but we're equally effective? How do we get to that place of being equally effective?
I think,
and not to the place where people hear First Lady preach, I don't want to come, or I hear Pastor preach, I don't want to come. I want to hear First Lady preach, I want to hear Pastor preach. How do we get to the place of being equally effective?
I think, if I can sum it up, it's communication.
Absolutely.
I think you have to communicate with one another. And knowing each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. You complement one another.
I love that.
So where I'm weak, my wife is strong. And where I'm strong, she's weak. I'll bring her up.
Absolutely.
And so we understand we in this thing together.
Absolutely.
When I win, she wins.
We both win.
Yeah, we both win.
I love it.
And so I think you gotta know one another's personalities. And strengthen one another.
I love it. So we're going, and I thank you so much
for
being a special guest on the 757.
But
what would you share with some pastor, some preacher out there that said, listen, I'm struggling, but I want to make this change. I want to do renovations. We have the money there, but I'm scared that it's going to drive away the old saints. What would you share?
I want to encourage every preacher, every pastor that's watching even now, never to give up. It is critical that you hang around people who are doing what you want to do. One of the things for me is every week I have the privilege of sitting in a team meeting with a church who is not just having church, but has a business sense and really helps me to merge the two together. So you gotta Expose yourself around people who are doing what you want to do. Don't give up. God has put something unique inside of you that somebody needs. But it's the attack of the enemy for you to give up to just because of everything that's not happening. But every now and then, God will send you a Naomi in your life to help you to get to Boaz. So I want to encourage every Ruth that's listening today. Keep going, keep pressing, keep enduring. For the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to him that endureth to the end. Join us every Sunday right here at Experience Church, 4500 Peak Trail at 10 a.m. Is our worship service. We start exactly at 10 a.m. and we would love to have you to join us for worship on Sundays.